Hey guys, welcome back to Sword of Convallaria. So they just finished their dev live stream, the pre-release live stream, and we got a bunch of information, and some of this information is fantastic. We got news about some extra free premium currency we're getting, extra features coming to the game, the events and some of the rewards that we're going to get, the banners that we're going to have, and some extra stuff like skins. Now they did go through some extra, more fluff stuff, some chat about, you know, the pixel art and stuff like that. I'm staying more into the key functional stuff. They did have a bunch of other stuff, which I'll leave it in the description if you want to listen to the devs talk about, you know, the art style and stuff like that of the game. So first of all, free shit, because that is always important. We are getting an extra 750 free premium currency in the mail when we start the game to all accounts. So if you're rerolling, it's another half a temple, another 5 summons to go towards your rerolling, which is fantastic. On top of all the pre-registration rewards, it's going to look pretty nice for rerolling in my opinion. That is the first one, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, I'm not going to go through everything in the order they did it in the actual live stream, because I want to stick to the freebies and the in-game stuff, and then go to the dev chat where they gave us more info on more features and stuff like that. So the next thing I want to talk about is that they did touch on the events that are coming with the launch. Now, the first one, they tied it into it, was Spiral of Destinies. Now, if you watch my previous video where I go through the basics of the game, Spirals of Destiny is basically that solo campaign mode where it's trying to be a traditional JRPG type thing and a single player mode that doesn't really interact too heavily with the gacha or anything else, and it's supposed to be a story focused thing. So that is going to be in the game with 3, I believe they phrased it as like main storylines to explore and work through, and it is one of those ones with branching storylines, so the decisions you make matter. But tied into this game mode, they have Dawn a Glimmer of Hope event, which is going to give you a bunch of rewards for doing more Spiral of Destiny's like paths and completing it more times, essentially. So they didn't go into exacts on that one, but it's going to be obviously freebies and stuff like that. Now, the next one they had was Voyage Memento. Now, this one is a bunch of different like beginner quests and stuff like that, and they say it's for up to 40 summons and 6 chances at legendary characters or SSR characters. I don't know exactly how that intertwines in the chances for legendaries, but we'll have to wait and see. But hey, free summons and a bunch of other stuff by the sounds of it. You guys know the events. You guys played other games where you just get a bunch of like missions you need to complete, progression rewards. As you complete a mission, you get rewards, and they normally have progression ones as well. They didn't go too in depth into the display of it, but that is pretty solid. And the last one they mentioned is the Sail on Voyage, which for this one, it's going to have, I believe it was a login one. I can't remember exactly what they said, but we're going to get a free copy of Fake L from there, from that event as well. So we get another free character, which is fantastic. Now, then they went into the banners. Now, this is the one that I was hoping to see because I wanted final confirmation on the banners so we can start looking towards what we're going to do for our rerolls. And they gave us, honestly, the best possible result for banners in the game. So the banners we're going to have is looking like being the Cole and Beryl banner, who are both fantastic units. And then, so those two will be in a double banner. If you watch my other video, you'll know about the double banners and stuff like that. And then the single character banner is going to be Gloria, which is like these 3 characters, all amazing. So rerollers, I mean, we're in a pretty good state. I'm pretty excited for it. I can't wait for Thursday. I got like 14 hours straight that I can reroll if I need to. So I'm pretty excited for it. Banners are absolutely fire. Like they've nailed the banners. Now they also did mention that there will be skins. Beryl will have a skin that you can get from an event, which they actually showed that skin. And then they did mention that Cole will also have a skin. However, they did not display that to us. So we'll have to wait and see what it looks like and how we get it. We don't know how we're going to get that one. Often these games, a bunch of games I've seen do, when they do skins, they do one free and one paid. So wouldn't surprise me if Cole would be like some sort of paid skin, but in the end, if it's both free, I'm pretty cool with that anyway. Now that covers like the main stuff. The next bit I'm going to cover is going into, they had a little dev interview. Now, apologies if I missed anything because I was taking notes and reading it at the same time because it was the CN devs and it was all subtitles, so I was trying to get everything done. So if I missed anything, I do apologize. I did quickly browse over it on 2x speed after that to try and glaze over if I missed anything, but I'm pretty sure I nailed the key points that I wanted to cover in this bit. So the first thing was, why was there a delay in the global release? And they said that they were basically optimizing the game experience and a lot of work on localization. because obviously, you know, the game's main scene, and especially when you got a story-based game, you don't want to have bad localization, so it doesn't give a good immersive experience in English. Me personally, I don't really care as long as I can read skill descriptions, because I'm not the biggest story person. But, you know, the fact that it makes sense that it took them a long time to get localizing done, and I do appreciate if they delay releases for stuff like that. It does show like an extra sense of care into it. And they also said that it was working on PC and console support. Now, I haven't seen anywhere about the console release. I'll look that up and get back to you guys on that one. But we're definitely getting the PC release on Steam. But when they said console, it might have been in a translation, because later they did talk about the controller support. So there is definitely controller support for the game, but possibly consoles as well. I'm not too sure on that one. And then they said the next question was in the Q&A was what was optimized during this delay period. So basically they said they were optimizing the difficulty of the game on certain modes that maybe people were getting stumped on. It was getting too much, you know, it was creating too many friction points for players. And I'm tipping that's not on like the hard end game modes. I'm tipping that means more in like the story based modes where people are supposed to enjoy it and have fun. And they also were optimizing like resource acquisition for, you know, developing your characters at the pace that feels comfortable and stuff like that. And also they were optimizing the controller support for the game so that you weren't using your controller to click on the screen and drag, so that it actually has full native controller support with inputs and stuff like that. The next one was, and this is honestly, for me personally, the biggest one that they said. I was so excited for this. They said, what new content can we expect in the game? And they said shortly after release, they're going to implement real-time arena PvP 1v1 battles, which is super exciting. Now, on the Taiwanese version, they did have a real-time arena event, but the way they worded it, the way I read it, made me feel like it's going to be like a permanent mode where you get matched randomly with them. Now, I hope it's not just the event, and I hope it's a permanent mode, because I love this kind of stuff. I know some people don't, but they will have some form of real-time arena PvP in the game, which is fantastic. Now, they did then also say the other new content was going to be guild-based combat, but they said guild team battles. And then they said it's kind of like using assist heroes, but I couldn't quite in the translation on the subtitles. I think it might be like guild boss battles or something like that, where you lend heroes to battle a boss or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but there will be guild related content coming in the game, essentially, because at the moment we've pretty much got the guild login type and quest type stuffs, and that's about it. So more guild interaction is fantastic in my opinion. Now, the next thing that they touched on is going to be a tighter schedule and balanced difficulty adjustments to compensate. So they basically said they're going to speed it up and squash it in, like the events. They're going to give us the events a bit quicker, which is fantastic because it means more resources. But they said they're also going to adjust the difficulty to compensate for the fact that they are putting more events in, not to overstress players as well. So we'll have to wait and see how that is. They said they think the gap at the end will be about 6 months to the CN version. So we'll have to see what exactly it pans out and how close we get. But that was sort of what we got from that little bit of an interview. Then past that, they basically did a lot of, this is where I mentioned earlier, they did a lot of discussion talking about like the pixel art, the design of the game, and all that stuff. So that pretty much covers everything, the key points that I wanted to get across in the dev live stream. It was pretty good. It was well produced, in my opinion. It's always good when games put that extra bit of effort in, especially the smaller games, not the big Hoyo games and stuff like that. These not so massive games, when they put the value into it, like they had full English voice acting for the hosts and stuff of the live stream. Obviously, when the developers came in, they don't speak English, so they didn't, so they had subtitles, but the rest of it was all in English, and I think it was pretty well presented. Really promising. It looks professional. Looks like they put a lot of effort into it, which is really promising. Plus, for me, the banners and the RTA, pretty huge for me personally. But let me know what you guys think. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.